What a beautiful day to be out here, out in T-Wex Park. And in today's video, guys, we're gonna be talking about what life could be like down here in New Mexico. I know we just recently did a video talking about what life can be down here in Albuquerque, but man, with it being so beautiful out here, I thought that I'd like to talk about the whole life here in New Mexico in general. So grab your pen and your pad and let's get into today's video. Living in New Mexico comes with a ton of perks, guys. I mean, from the diverse landscape that we have here, the culture, the climate, all that stuff, right? But what does daily life look like here in New Mexico? And I'm gonna try my best to explain it to you guys in kind of like three different categories, right? Talking about the north side of New Mexico, the central, and then the south side, because each landscape is just a bit different. So the temperatures can vary, the climates can vary, weather patterns, all that stuff, even down to the culture in some areas can vary. And if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. Do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because we are dropping videos like this every week talking about what our beautiful state and city of Albuquerque has to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, guys, I just got to be transparent. We are licensed brokers here in the state of New Mexico, and me and my team are ready to help you guys with that move. And if you are planning on moving down here in the next 90 days, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line, and we'd love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys to discuss what it's going to take to get you down here to Albuquerque. But let's talk about the north side of New Mexico and what you have to expect if you're planning on moving there. All right, so northern New Mexico, what do you have to expect when you live up there? Well, for one, it's going to be a little bit more mountainous. You are going to have more big old pine trees and valleys, rivers, all that stuff. So if you enjoy the great outdoors, I know I talk about Albuquerque just being so diverse. That side of New Mexico is just going to offer so much more when it comes to that kind of little mountain town vibe, slow down living. You want to live closer to southern Colorado, because honestly, the Rocky Mountains travel through there. So you are going to get an essence of what southern Colorado is without the southern Colorado prices. So a lot of people are moving up there, places like Taos, Red River, Eagles Nest. You got like Navajo up there, Aztec, all that stuff that is just providing a more affordable way of living for people who are looking to live on the outskirts, just way more slowed down living than what we talk about here in Albuquerque, kind of like that old school farm lifestyle. So if that's you enjoy hunting, fishing, like really going up there and hiking and just getting into the wild within just pretty much a walk from your front doorstep, northern New Mexico is going to be it for you guys. But just be aware that you are going to deal with more inclement weather. You are going to have more snowfall, more rainfall. It comes with the territory, guys. So, and do kind of expect that you might pay a little bit more for some premium housing, especially if it's along some waterfront. So a couple things just to discuss there. If you guys are planning on moving there and you're just not too sure of what town or what city is going to fit your best needs, we'd love to help you discover that. Now, central New Mexico, where Albuquerque's at, you got other places like Los Lunas, Rancho, and then of course our mountain towns of the East Mountains, Tijeras and Edgewood and all that stuff. This area here is just going to be diverse. You're going to get all the seasons. You're going to get inclement weather closer to the east side of the mountains, and you are also going to get a little bit more of a hotter temperature, just because we're pretty above sea level, but we're also closer to the sun, which makes it a little bit hotter, right? You're not going to get that super dreadful humid climate that you get in like places like Dallas. So living here centrally located in Albuquerque, you are going to have a ton of perks, right? The diversity of all landscapes, riverfronts, mountain territories, and the desert. So if you just want diverse living, you want to be able to go to, say the Bosque Trails, and then head up to the mountains within a 20-minute span, Albuquerque is going to be the place to do it, guys. And with our home prices going up, more people getting attention through these videos and moving down here because of it, we've seen that there's been a spike just recently in home prices, where the average home price used to be $350,000 and now it's closer to about $400,000. So big question on if it's still affordable, and that's really going to be a personal thing. And there's still a ton of affordable homes here. So if you're wondering what area is going to fit your best needs, again, we'd love to help you discover that. When it comes to the south side of New Mexico, guys, definitely going to be way hotter. You are going to deal with higher temperatures, and it's more desertous. But down there you have cool places like the Alamogordo White Sands, Roswell, if you're into, the whole alien thing. And then you're going to be, a few hours away from El Paso, which is Texas, right? And if you want to travel down to Mexico, it's really going to just be a hop, skip, and a jump just to get you down there. So diversity, culture, all that stuff is going to be super alive in this area. You're going to be able to find more affordable housing because it's more of a college kind of area because of the New Mexico State University being down there. So really, guys, a lot of people are moving down there just for that. And actually, more people are enjoying moving down there because of the heat, because it could get a little bit colder the more north you go. So if that interests you guys, we also have a couple of agents that work down in Las Cruces that could help you potentially find a house. Now, I'm walking through Old Town filming this and trying to find some spots where there's not a whole lot of people just kind of staring at me thinking what I'm doing, because Albuquerque's like that. Albuquerque and New Mexico in general, so behind the eight ball that even when I do these videos and pull out my camera, it seems so foreign. I know in bigger cities it's pretty usual just to walk down the street and see about 10 people doing this. Here it's not. So if you're into kind of like that old school, slow down pace of living, New Mexico is going to be it for you guys, because there's a lot of things that have been unchanged for years, because we're big believers in what's not broken should not be fixed. We only like to improve it every once in a while. So it's a funny joke, right? Because the land of mañana is what they call us, and it reigns supreme here. A lot of people procrastinate and put things off until the next day. I personally don't, because I'm super anxious and I like to get things done right away. But for the majority, guys, down here in New Mexico, this is the type of culture you're gonna get, right? You're gonna get a bunch of old school architecture, vibrant colors, good food, southern hospitality with a southwestern mix because of the different cultures that we have here that are very prominent, right? Like the Mexican culture and the Native American culture that still very alive here, right? You'll see it in a lot of the architecture, a lot of the stores here in Old Town in Albuquerque. So if it's one place that I highly recommend that you get to when you come and visit it, just to get an essence of Albuquerque and the people and everything that we have to offer, it's right here smack dab in the middle of the city. So every little town that I just talked about is going to have an area like this, believe it or not, right? Santa Fe has their own, Las Cruces has their own. Even up in Red River, you're going to get that feel of an old school mining town. So, and still very New Mexican with all the flavors, all the colors, and the people there are just people who are traveling really from Albuquerque up into the mountains to get away from all the heat during the summertime. So pretty cool to see that, how the culture is just very alive down here and everywhere that you go. So you're never gonna miss a New Mexican beat when you move down here. All right, so we've had plenty of conversations around affordability, New Mexico just being one of the more affordable states in America right now, even considering with things just going up in price ranges for homes. But even cost of living, guys, we are still 16% lower than the average, which in terms can mean hundreds of dollars that you'll be saving every month when it comes down to utilities, when it comes down to purchasing groceries, even down to purchasing a house, guys. In most areas right now, the average home is around $450,000. I mean, you look it up. And in New Mexico, we're still pretty low in those low 400s, high 300s. And even in some areas, you're looking at houses that are close to around $250,000. But I'll leave that for our Zoom call, guys. And if you're curious to know any of these areas that you could potentially be living in and what they have to offer aside from living, in New Mexico, we'd love to help you move to any one of these cities and really get with those agents that live in these little cities that are spread across New Mexico to give you into full detail what you could expect in terms of living, price, cost of living, all that culture, right? That way you can make sure that it makes sense for you to move down there. And again, that number popping up on the screen here is my direct line. And man, it's getting super hot out here. I'm gonna go get some lunch. I haven't ate anything. I forgot my lunch today, so I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe something healthy. And there's a ton of healthy joints around here, believe it or not, even though this food is super good. Healthy don't gotta be bland. But I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.